Hi, everyone. Welcome to All One Sun. This is Allison, and our topic for today is how do we view the world and ourselves. I am starting a series of, I was actually going to be recording something else, and I just felt like I got this laid on my spirit to start a series of words of enlightenment and words of encouragement. So I'm starting the first one off with words of enlightenment. And of course, the topic today is how do we view the world and how do we view ourselves? Now, um, I have this really beautiful picture of this little kid just playing with these bubbles. And, you know, that's how I view the world and view us as in general of just like little kids. We're just here to have fun and to learn and to grow and explore. And somehow that went totally crazy. And we found ourselves in this situation where we've been bombarded with labels and rules and regulations and um, so many things that is just doesn't seem right, does it? Doesn't have a good feel. For a while, I think for most of us, it just seemed like, okay, this is how things are. This is the way it is. This is life. This is normal. And I think we're finding out that, wait a minute, no, maybe this is not supposed to be. This is can't be the way it is. Got to be a better way, right? So, and I think a lot of us more and more are starting to feel this way. I hear it more and more. I see it more and more. So then maybe we're all waking up to something new, something wonderful. Okay? Now, when most of us view the world and view each other, what do we see? Do we see colors or do we see people? Now, you can probably say, well, we have to see colors. There's no getting around that. We see that some is lighter, some are darker, some, or look different with hair and no hair and boobs and eyes are slanted. We look different. But still, we can all say that we're one thing. We're all people, right? Just look a little different, just like dogs, cats, everything else, right? We just look a little different. There was no racism for a long time. We all lived in peace for a really long time. Regardless of what has been told to you, our history has been changed for the narrative. And how we view the world today is through the eyes of, now some people say, oh, our conquerors, the people who are the ruling class. Now, some people may say, well, it's the white people, but it's not really what you think. See, this is the misconception. If you think about it this way, when America was, we had slavery, there was two, there were white slaves and there were people, slaves of color. So they were no different. There was just a ruling class, though, however, versus those people. But who are the ruling class? Who exactly are they that separate themselves from us? Some people call that the 1% now, right? So, but that doesn't matter. Regardless of that, that doesn't matter. how do we view ourselves? How have we allowed the society, our system, to for us to view ourselves? We are shown movies, programs, television programs, and we have come to view ourselves and each other through that. And don't forget religion as well. School, teachings, that's how we have view ourselves. Because as a child, we didn't see race, we didn't see gender. I always say one of the best ways to actually learn and know how we truly are as beings is to observe nature, to observe children. You know, I was on the bus one day with my little cousin Junior, and another kid came on the bus, and they were talking, just talking up a storm. And I sat and I observed them just talking up the storm, like they understood each other. And I thought, wow, I sat there and as I observed them, I said, I think they understand each other. And it was so wonderful. And I looked at the lady, and she was like, she said something to me in that effect. And I said, no, they understand each other. So anyway, fast forward to my little cousin and my two little cousins. One is a little bit older, and she speak clearly, so we can understand her. She was, I think, 2 years older, I think. So anyway, so he would say something, and we wouldn't understand, but she would. So I noticed that whenever he talks and he said something, she would notice. But what I noticed was that she would know she would know what he said, she would understand, because she was still close to his age. We didn't understand him, but she did. So that will go back to those two little kids that were talking. We didn't understand them, but they understood each other. So she understood him because they were still close to that age. So she understood him. So she was kind of like in between, where she knew our language, she could understand us, and she could understand our brother, her little brother. So she was translating back and forth to her. So I just thought about it because I observed that. So I just one day said, well, if you want to just ask Alancia, she understands. So whenever he said something that we didn't know, now everybody caught on and go, and they ask her. And that's how we learn things. This is how we observe the world, through each other's eyes, through observing what we see. This is how we've always learned. But no, that's all been changed. We have been given a picture, movies, television, to program how we should view each other and the world. Yeah. So this is what you call programming. We are being programmed. It may not seem like it because we view this as normal. That is part of the programming. Nevertheless, we have been programmed. How do we view the world, and how do we view ourselves? Do we look at each other and smile with love, compassion? Do we look at each other and see the beauty of God within each other? There's a word, and please forgive me if I destroy this word, namaste, if I'm saying that correctly. And it pretty much means, I see the God within you. I think there is another word in Africa that also pretty much says the same thing. I don't know that word. I'm used to namaste. But that's what that means. Namaste is, I see the God within you. The Bible says the kingdom of God is within you. All right? So through each and every one, our eyes, the kingdom of God is within. Now, you're going to view the world the way you view yourself. So how do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as a loving person? Do you view yourself as God that is within you? We're made in God's image, right? The kingdom of God is within us, right? You can only view the world in regard to how you view yourself. So if you're a person who's filled with love and compassion and joy, that's how you're going to see the world. And that's how you're going to see other people. And it becomes really hard for you to understand why some people do the things that they do. It is for us to live in a community that we love each other, that we share, that we work towards one goal, and that goal should be working to take care of each other. But our society is different, right? Our society is on a system of money. Now, there's somebody coined the phrase that money is the root of all evil. And a lot of people said, no, money's not the root of all evil. And there's truth in both of those. Because you see, just like a gun is not evil. And a gun doesn't kill anyone. A person kills using a gun. Like a knife doesn't kill. A person kills using a knife. It's a tool. You can use it to hunt, you can use it to defend yourself. So it's the same thing with money, but unfortunately, the most of the time, that money is used to manipulate, to bribe, to enslave us, what we call employment. Why do we need to work? Somebody, I just said, I said, we don't need money. And said, well, we gotta work. And that tells you that a person is just in that mindset that there is no other way because they're into the system. That's what they've been told. That's what we've been taught. That's been the normal for a long time. But does it mean that it has to be that way? No. This is our world. It can be whatever we deem it to be. We're in control, but we've lost that control. There's a group of people that has been in control for a long time now and has taken us off out of that natural, harmonious love that we've had with the world, with Mother Earth, with nature. And we need to find our way back. But in order for us to find our way back, we have to go within. We have to change our mindset. And the way to do that is to walk away and move away from this world. We can't be totally in this world and change ourselves. We have to move away. We have to give up the music. Some of the music, not all. Not all of it is evil. We have to move away from the movies. Not all of them. Some of them are still very good and loving and has a really good theme to it, but most of them, yes. We have to walk away from a lot of things that does not feed us and that is of service to us, that feeds us love. Remember, you're brainwashed over the years by constant bombardment of hate of movies and shows of certain nature that you've adopted as your own. Started off as a movie, but no, you see it in your life. So is it life in you know art, life interpreting art, or art? It didn't make a difference anymore, because we see this on TV and we copy it. It became who we want to be, who we are now. And without us knowing, we've been brainwashed. We've been manipulated. How do we see ourselves? How do we see the world? How can we move forward in loving each other again? How do we view the world? Is how we view ourselves. So you got to ask yourself, how do you view yourself? How do you see yourself? Because remember, love comes from within. You cannot give what you don't have. You must first obtain that first before you can give it. So how do you view yourself? How do you view the world around you? Are you stuck on a label? Are you black? Are you white? Are you woman? Are you female? Are you gay? Are you straight? How do you view yourself? Are you stuck on a label? The label that's been given to you by the world, by the system. How do you view yourself? Are you rich? Are you poor? Are you middle class? How do you view yourself? As a status? As an educator? As an intellect? How do you view yourself? Someone who's proud? Prideful? How do you view yourself? Do you care what other people think all the time? Do you live your life caring what others think? How they view you? A certain status that you have to be? How do you view yourself? How have you allowed society to mold you into how you live your life? How you think of others? The Bible, television, movies have all mold you into the way you think. You know, as I said, kids, as they're growing up, they don't see sex, they don't see race. One of my little cousin, He's in soccer. And when I used to go and watch him play his soccer game, for me, he was little. And there's other teams. He's been doing it ever since he was like really run around. But there was I was noticing one day when I was there that there was another team where he came out of, and they're young, and I don't know how old they were really young. They're just almost just just still seem like they still trying to walk, for they're young. And the boys and the girls were playing together. They, they didn't have them separated, and it didn't matter to them. Didn't see sex. We're taught that. Didn't see sex. I mean, I guess maybe naturally we'll grow up and just see something. Would we? But we're trained from a young age that this is female, this is male. Do you know that we're all born, in the womb, we're all females? Yep, look it up. We're all females. Everybody start off in the womb as a female. And then later on, the sex change. There's also a saying that the woman is the one who decides what the sex will be, not the man. Because if the man did decide that, from the moment that the child starts to grow, because he already fertilized that egg, the seed, right? So the moment that that child is conceived, the sex would have been determined. But it first starts out as a female and then later on changes. And it's been determined, not me, I'm not saying it, science has said it too, that the female can decide the um, the gender. And science has said it, that all child starts out as a female. Now, that's a lot. I mean, that changes a lot of things. And there's more that we don't know too, but I won't get into a lot of that right now. There's a lot of things that about sex, about the female and the male. I once ran a series of pictures of like part of like one face, like a male, and one face a female, but it's the same. They just did their face looking like so it looks like I don't know if you want to call it a transvestite on one side, but anyway. And I was saying, you're me, I'm you, that we're all the same. We're all one sex, really. And that's another story too. But we've all been deceived about who we really are. We've all been deceived about who we really are. By classes, we have been brainwashed and been separated in so many areas. It's hard to see, like, oh my gosh, how are these people going to return? How are they going to come back to their nature, to their natural self, when they've been so deceived? They've been divided by sex, male against male. I mean, male against female, race, different colors against different colors, class against class. Really, it is time that we stop seeing things in black and white, because we're all one. We're all the same, just different shades. black, and there is no real black. I guess there is. I mean, I don't know, but black, the color, the real color, black, is actually a color with every color, because out of black there is every color. Black brings every color. I mean, if you mix every color together, you're gonna get black. That's what I'm saying. If you mix every color together, you're gonna get black. So black is every color mixed into one. So what we are is a shade of the same color, just from a dark, because most people are not black. They're really dark, like a dark chocolate, to a cocoa, chocolate, whatever, and then all the way down to like caramel, vanilla, and so that's it. Just like these two ends, just like these two horses. They're horses. One is black, one is white. Like these two wolves. You can learn a lot from nature. It would tell us really who we are, who we should be. These tigers, look at that. I mean, just look at the tigers. You got the regular ones that you normally see, and then you have this one kind of like, mixed up between an albino and the regular one, and this one is like a, what do you call it there? Like a zebra tiger, and this one is, all one color. But what do they look? You know that they're tigers. You know that they're tigers. It's the same thing with us. They got the same arm. I mean, the same paws, side paws, ears. You know that they're tigers. There's no difference. We've been trained and taught and manipulated to think that we're different. I mean, it was told that black people at one time that we didn't have a soul, right? So that way it can, they can get away with the way that they were treated. It was a way out to excuse the way that they were treated, black people of color. I don't like to say black, people of color. The same way that a lot of people say that animals don't have soul, to get away with treating animals a certain way, to treating animals the way that they do. They don't have souls. And so what? Even if they didn't have souls, why would a person of love, of God, why would you want to hurt anyone? Why would you want to treat somebody or anything that way? Why would you want to kill anything? We naturally didn't eat meat, food. We were tricked into that. Sacrifices was never anything that we did. We've been deceived. We're all one. All one. From one, we're many. All colors, we're all one. This series and this topic is just for us to just look at each other as one. Somebody created us. Okay? Now, a lot of things have been going around and saying, oh, well, this one mated with what do you call it there? The cavemen, and this one mated with aliens, and this one mated with reptilians. I don't know. I don't care. All I know, I don't care who made us, we're all one. There is one source energy, consciousness. And from that energy, we all came from. We cannot be, nothing is without that energy. Nothing can be without that energy. This computer, even though you may think we made it, but it cannot be without that energy. Nothing is existent here without that energy. Doesn't matter. We fight and we destroy each other for what? Nothing. Why? Can't we just go back to the innocence of love? Of just loving each other. Why can't we just do that? As children, we love each other. We don't see colors. We don't see any of that. So, my thing is, why can't we go back to that innocence of love? It's not too late. It is not too late. It's a conscious choice to just say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to love. I want to love like the way I know I'm supposed to. This is how you came into this world. And that's how you're supposed to be. The way that we live now is because we have been programmed otherwise. Our true nature is this. It is love. It is peace. It is living with harmony, in harmony with nature. We can go back that way. All it takes is each and every one of us making a conscious effort to renew our minds and renew our heart. This picture made, wow, history. This one right here. Because you know what? This isn't a time when there is hate. There was so many things going on. And you know what? We did all that. We did the hate. We did the war. Everything. In fact, this is just now. This is what's going on right now in some of these states. Rioting, protesting. This is going on now. And some people are checking out. There's been a lot of suicide. And we need to look at ourselves. And we need to find our way back. Because we're all in this together. There is something that's going on. And we know it. We feel it. And this has been brought on by a group of people. Most people don't want any of this. They just want to live in peace and harmony with each other. And we can do that. We're all in this together. I don't care what you say. We're in this together. And we can change this together in love, in peace. Put all this party politics aside. We have to save ourselves. We have to save ourselves. From the 60s to now, we have to save our, and not really much has changed. Technology, and we are truly loving people. We really are. I believe that with all my heart. We need to just ride together. The power it may be, do not want that. Everything has been orchestrated to separate us, to cause a race war. And if they don't get a race war, then they're gonna try to get a civil war. Okay, and the civil war would be through the politics. Trump voters against Biden voters. It will cause a civil war. Okay, so if they don't get us on the race war, they're gonna try and get us on the civil war. We should not let this happen. This is a trap. Okay, there's no reason why we can't go out there and vote. Now, I don't trust any of these people, but I don't even want to go down that way right now. But there's a way, ladies and gentlemen, we can take back our country. We can take back the world. Look around you. Listen to what's going on in places like, what do you call it there? Australia, the UK. Look at what's going on around the world. Don't sit back and just watch. Unity, it's what's needed. The people that are fighting for your souls, and I see your Biden said that. We're fighting for your soul. Yes, they are. They really, truly are. You just don't get it. But they are. They're fighting for your souls. We have to help ourselves out of this. We have to take control. Everything is the government. Everything people go, oh, the government needs to make a law of this. Oh, the government. And every single time that you turn over to the government, you give your power away. You give your power away. Trump says, let's make America great again. Well, of course, most people of color will say, when was it ever great? Because they feel like it was never great for them because of slavery. But this was a thriving country. And while I would like to see it thrive for everyone, I would like to say, let's make it different. Let's make it better than it ever was. Let's put our differences aside. Let's replace all the hate with love. All the stuff that are hateful, hate hurts. I'm sorry. There's only one rule. There's only one law, and that law is do no harm. To me, you can do whatever you want. Just don't do any harm mentally or physically to anyone. We should all have the right to live our lives, to travel freely, and to live our lives the way that we choose to. We can build this country together. We can take our country and our world back together. It's going to take every single one of us. Change starts from our mindset within. Let's change it. All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please share, like, and if you are watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and share and like and subscribe. Please help support the channel. And I love you. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe so you can join again. And all right. So thanks everyone. Bye now.